Sharks.
I'm coming, King Julian. Tra-la-la-la-la-la.
Sharks are some of the most well-recognized animals on the planet. And if you don't know what a shark is, what is wrong with you? Have you been living under a rock this entire time? How do you not know what a shark is? Well, just in case if you are, I'll give you a brief summary. Sharks are one of the most well-known apex predators of the ocean, with a huge diversity in species with over 400. But it's not just them being cool in general. Sharks have quite a reputation actually, with their huge influence in movies like Jaws, but their reputation has also been kinda bad for them, with a lot of people becoming scared of sharks and killing them. Matter of fact, 100 million sharks are killed every year. Some of them are just killed just for their fin. Apparently sharks have more of the fear of us than we do of them. And although I would like this video to be a big essay on how we shouldn't fin sharks and how people shouldn't joke about finning sharks and eating shark fin soup, you know who you are. This video will be talking about more positive things, like some of the most underrated sharks out there. Literally everybody knows about sharks, but some sharks literally nobody knows about. Like, I can't even find a live footage of this shark I'm going to talk about today. And what is this shark I'm going to talk about? Well, it's called the crocodile shark. And what is the crocodile shark, you may ask? Well, the crocodile shark is a species of mackerel shark. What's a mackerel shark? Well, think great white shark. You know a great white shark. Most popular shark in Jaws, kinda overrated, overpowered in depth. Yeah, everybody loves the great white shark. Well, it is also a mackerel shark. Matter of fact, the mako shark is too. But let's get back to the topic of the video. The croc shark, as I like to call it. The crocodile shark is actually the smallest of all mackerel sharks, with its max length being at around 3.6 feet. Not a detriment against this thing though, since this thing is pretty unique. It's got huge eyes to be able to see in the dark, and its bite is pretty nasty, despite there being no shark attacks. Unlike most sharks, which are gray, this shark is kind of black and brown. Its prey it hunts is usually bony fish, squid, and shrimp. It also breeds ovipositorus. Forgive me if I butchered that, which means that it has eggs in its stomach, instead of giving live birth or even laying eggs in general. It's kind of a mixture of both, with its eggs being inside its stomach and hatching. Their mothers would actually eat unfertilized eggs. Goes to show that the shark world is not a nice world. These sharks are actually so elusive that no live footage that I know of has ever been filmed of them alive, or even in the water, or even on land caught by bycatch. And that's kinda it actually.
That's it?
Yeah, the sad thing about this is that there's really nothing else to talk about. Because this shark is so elusive and there's no footage, we can't really talk about much. So, video over, right?
Good guess, but actually no.
There is actually one more shark I'd like to talk about, and this one is my personal favorite. Introducing the salmon shark. The salmon shark is actually another species of mackerel shark. Ironic how both sharks we're discussing today are both mackerel sharks. These sharks are actually cold water sharks, which is kind of surprising since there aren't really any sharks in the world that usually inhabit cold waters. Only real known one is the Greenland shark. Also, unlike the crocodile shark, which I don't really know why it was given the name the crocodile shark, the salmon shark was given the name the salmon shark because it eats salmon. Go figure! The salmon shark is kinda like a mix between both great whites and mako sharks. It's got the basic body type of a great white, or porbeagle, but I don't really care about porbeagle sharks. Actually, on a side note, porbeagles are just kinda like scrunkly great whites. They're literally just small great whites. Nothing unique about them. The salmon sharks also have the speed of a mako shark. Don't believe me? Well, these things are actually pretty fast. They are actually the second fastest shark next to the mako. Oh, you probably noticed by now, these things are actually freaking adorable. Like, I just want to give it a hug. Another cool thing about this shark is that it actually hunts in packs, which is kinda rare for sharks. These sharks are actually kinda intelligent too. I mean, we don't really know much about their intelligence, but I do know that they actually rub their skin against flotsam or floating pieces of wood to get parasites off. Also, just like great whites and makos, they actually breach out the water when hunting prey, which automatically makes them a winner in my book. Also, if you're wondering how these sharks survive the cold Alaskan waters, they're actually warm-blooded, which kinda makes it even more questionable how. Well, these sharks actually have a unique circulatory system, which dramatically warms their body. The shark is also migratory, which means it doesn't stay in Alaska permanently. And also, it only hunts in packs whenever there's a huge group of salmon. They're actually mostly solitary, mainly when they're not in Alaska. Although salmon sharks do have a lot of competition, not just with grizzly bears and eagles, but also fellow ocean dwellers like orcas and even seals. Also, if you notice from this picture, it has a lot of parasites on this one. It's because that Alaskan waters have a lot of parasites that attach to fish. This is already apparent with the Greenland shark, but salmon sharks can't escape this either. That is why they use floating branches to rub them off. And although I've seen a lot of videos of these sharks getting caught by fishermen by bycatch or overfishing, these sharks are actually not as endangered as the mako or even the great white shark. Matter of fact, they're least concern. Also, these things are underrated. Yeah, I think these things could use a lot more representation in documentaries and video games. Petition to add this thing to dev. I would play it every single day. And to round this out, they don't have any shark attacks on humans. These things only like fish, and they'll be fish all day. And that just about wraps up the salmon shark. Overall, it is my personal favorite shark, while the crocodile shark is just kinda there. But I'd be willing to see more information on the crocodile shark. And again, I really want more salmon shark representation. Like, this thing needs to be playable in depth. And that about wraps up my discussion on sharks. See you later, Gabriel Dillon, signing off.